Welcome back to the Theory of Motivation. I'm Dr. Edge Butterfield, talking to you about content theories of motivation. This is our 9th video of the series, and if you have not watched the first introduction video, I strongly recommend you to do so, as it puts the whole subject of motivation into context. In our first video of this series on motivation, we introduced what is meant by motivation and the types of motivation theory. The remainder of this video series is split into two main groups of theory, process and content theories. In videos 2, 3 and 4, we introduced and explained three process motivational theories: Vroom's expectancy theory, Adams' equity theory, and Locke's goal-setting theory. In video 5, we described what is meant by the content theory of motivation, and followed this by explaining our first example of content theory, that of Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. In video 6, we explained McGregor's theory X and theory Y. In video 7, we explained Alderfer's ERG theory. And in our last video, video 8, we explained McClelland's need theory. In this, our 9th video on motivation, I will explain Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory. Frederick Herzberg was an American psychologist who was very interested in people's motivation and job satisfaction, and he published his two-factor theory in 1959. He conducted his research by interviewing over 200 professionals about their good and bad experiences at work. He was surprised that the group answered questions about their good experience very differently from the ones about their bad experiences. As a result of this, he developed the theory that people's job satisfaction depends on two kinds of factors: factors for satisfaction and factors for dissatisfaction. The factors for satisfaction are influenced by motivators, which are also known as satisfiers. The factors for dissatisfaction are influenced by hygiene factors, which are also known as dissatisfiers. The presence of motivators causes employees to work harder. They are found within the actual job itself. These include company policies, supervision, relationships, work conditions, remuneration, salary, and security. The absence of hygiene factors will cause employers to work less hard. Hygiene factors are not present in the actual job itself, but surround the job. These include achievement, recognition, the work itself, responsibility, advancement, and growth. In his theory, Herzberg claims these factors function on the same level. In other words, satisfaction and dissatisfaction aren't polar opposites. Removing an employee's dissatisfaction, for example by offering a higher salary, doesn't necessarily mean the employee will then be satisfied. The employee is just no longer dissatisfied. There is a two-step process to use the two-factor theory model to increase the motivation of your team. The first is to eliminate job hygiene stressors in order to decrease job dissatisfaction. Some common steps to remove hygiene stressors are to rectify petty and bureaucratic company policies, ensure each team member feels supported without feeling micromanaged. You can do this by using different leadership styles. Ensure the day-to-day working culture is supportive, no bullying, no cliques, everyone treated with equal respect. Ensure that salaries are competitive within the industry. Ensure that there are no major salary disparities between employees doing similar jobs. And to increase job satisfaction and status, aim to construct jobs in such a way that each team member finds their job meaningful. Once you have removed hygiene stressors, the next step is to boost the job satisfaction of each member. We can do this by improving the actual content of the job itself. Again, a unique approach for each employee will be required. These techniques which can be used to achieve this are job enrichment. Job enrichment means enriching a team member's job by giving them more challenging or complex tasks to perform. These more complex tasks should make the job more interesting. Then we have job enlargement. Job enlargement means giving a team member a greater variety of tasks to perform. This variety can also make a job more interesting. Note that with job enlargement, the variety of tasks is increased, but not the difficulty of those tasks. If difficulty is increased, then that would be job enrichment. Then we have employee empowerment. Employee empowerment means delegating increasing responsibility to each member. This can be done by slowly increasing the amount of responsibility you delegate to an employee. There are 4 different combinations that can exist at work. High hygiene and high motivation. This is the ideal situation. Employees are very motivated and barely have any complaints. High hygiene and low motivation. Employees have few complaints, but they're not really motivated. They see their work simply as a paycheck. Then we have low hygiene and high motivation. Employees are motivated, their job is challenging, but they have complaints about salary or work conditions. And then lastly, we have low hygiene and low motivation. This is the worst possible situation. Employees are not motivated and have a lot of complaints. The challenge for organizations is to create a situation where the employees fit in the top right-hand corner of this grid: high hygiene factors and high motivation factors. In summary, as we come to the end of this explanation, Herzberg's two-factor motivation theory model provides 2 factors that affect motivation in the workplace. These are hygiene factors and motivating factors. Hygiene factors will cause an employee to work less if not present. Motivating factors will encourage an employee to work harder if present. The appropriate balance between the two will lead to job satisfaction. To use the theory within your team, start by getting any hygiene issues resolved. Once you have done this, you can boost motivation by putting in place as many motivating factors as practical. In this series of videos, we have introduced the subject of motivation at work and have described 3 process theories and 5 content theories. In order of presentation, these were Vroom's expectancy theory, Adams' equity theory, and Locke's goal-setting theory. These process theories were followed by the content theories: Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, McGregor's theory X and theory Y, Alderfer's ERG theory, McClelland's need theory, and Herzberg's two-factor theory. We will now complete the series with a final video number 10 that brings the theories into practical application. The final video in this series discusses the application of the theories in the workplace. It's now time for you to move on in our series. Enjoy video 10.